Jazzcast Pros.
Let us embrace our elders and uplift our youth. Let us pour into ourselves and understand the teaching and lessons and everything in our life has to offer. Let us do more listening and not just hearing. Let us do less talking and understanding. Allow us to take in from our elders what they have to offer and apply it to your life. Apply it to your everyday, the best way you know how. If you truly want to be self-sufficient, my fathers, if you truly want to be a loving being, my mothers, if you truly want to be the future and better, my youths, let us actively listen to the things that need to be listened and learn from the things that need to be learned. And we as fathers must show the importance and essential roles our elders play in our lives. Me and my grandmother did a lot of pizza, and something that is, has always been a comfort for us and something for us to do while we discuss things in my life or things that she wants me to learn or expect of me. And I find myself doing the same thing with my children. I go to create a pizza now, and I do this with my son especially. A lot of one-on-one, that comfort food. I don't feel dry. It's not soggy. It's not anything besides delicious. Where I get to put my own unlimited veggies. I get my vegan meatball. I get my sexy cheese. Try Create a Pizza. 766 Monroe Avenue, across from Speedway. You won't regret it. Mention Fatha Torch, $5.99 lunch special with a drink. Greetings and blessings. Welcome to Fatha Torch, the podcast to help you, the new and renewed fathers, cope with the anxiety and stress of fatherhood so that you can be the father or dad you wish you had. I'm your host, Ra, founder of Abimelech Foundation, an artist, a father of 9. My mission is to help you reclaim your power and ease your concerns about being a father in today's social climate. Today's episode, my folks, my brothers, my sisters, my children, is dedicated to the elders. I am currently going through a situation of transitioning my last elder, my matriarch, or I want to dedicate this podcast to all those who's ever been raised, uplifted, taught, loved by a true grandparent. The importance of a grandparent is so essential to our mental, physical, and spiritual well-being, as well as emotion. Grandparents help us understand life, help us to understand the purpose in our very existence, help us to see the simplicity as well as the unity of being who we are. They see the truth, they have lived experience beyond our understanding. And in no way this speaks on being perfect, always right, or grown. It's a mere fact that they have lived experience, wisdom of age or ages, the ability to allow you to see the world for what it really is. I was fortunate, and I hope most of my listeners can understand this. I was fortunate to be amongst those selected few to ever had the kiss, the embrace, the support, as well as guidance from a grandparent. The unconditional love, despite your wrong, your ignorance, the naive, and the growing pain, to allow you to see and grow with both mother and father, wisdom and knowledge, and still trump them with grace, correct them with love, and teach them with experience. The knowledge they hold, the wisdom that they can share is far beyond anything any young or peer or friends can ever teach you. Grandparents are essential to our psyche, are essential to the transition, the rite of passage, or whether it be womanhood, manhood, or simply fitting into your skin. It is something about how they do things. They can speak such simple words and make you feel like you're on top of the mountain. It's something about when they touch you, whether their hands are shaking, or it's soft, or it's just a graze like a wind. that make you feel one, that make you feel as one. They embrace you, they encourage you, and they know a little about the life they live and what they can show about the life that they live. Their love is always unconditional. No matter what you do, you will always be their grandchild. You will always be their little touch of future and present without forgetting the past. And when they transition, we must never forget the teachings and the love and the understanding they have given to us. As parents, we sometimes forget that the hope that we get to those ages, that we can have such wisdom, gain such knowledge, and we can share such experience with our own, that we can teach them the wrongs and rights, and our wrongs and rights, and examples of how to do things. So much of that is missing in today's world. So much of that wisdom and that scholar, that philosophy, the love, the strength, the glue that holds us dear and holds us responsible and accountable for our growing, our upbeing, our knowledge, our education, family tradition, remedies, healing factors. Grandparents are master healers because they have lived experience. I would like to share my experience thus so far. I never had the opportunity to remember my great-grands, but I had great memory and strong ties to my grands. They have taught me a lot about myself. They have led me to be the man that I see and you see or witness or to hear today. They have given me the wisdom far beyond my years. They have given me lessons on how to deal with me that I can deal with others. This would be my third time assisting or living witness to my elders transitioning. The first time was not well for me because I was inexperienced. I was young. My grandmother transitioned, and I could not remember any lessons she gave me because I was too in my emotions. When my grandfather passed, again, I failed that test again. I could not remember the lesson being instilled in me. It was there. It wasn't forgotten, but it was there. And I'm about to go through it again. But this time around, I am wiser. I have experience, and I'm taking time to mourn. I am acknowledging my elders. I am acknowledging the lesson learned and still being taught. Then I will not stop, and I will make them proud that what they instill in me and what they have me to remember of my ancestors before me, that I am loved and I was created out of love, and no one can take that from me. They are instilling in me the leader, the wisdom, the development of stronger strategy of how to survive in this harsh reality, how to keep the faith and keep the fire blazing, no matter what weather I chase, embrace, or go against. As a man, it is important for me to recognize my elders and their transition times and the lessons and the guidance they have given me. Whether they were disciplining me, uplifting me, or teaching me, it was always in love. It was always meant for me to learn further than what the lesson is in front of me. So I acknowledge my grands. I acknowledge all they have done for me to make me Fatha Torch today. They have taught me the rite of passage of adulthood, manhood. They have given me the rights and tools and how to use them. And although many times I have fallen, many times I have misused those tools, but because of the faith that I have in them and because of the faith they instilled in me, I still had the forgiveness and the ability to still will and use, even if I didn't think I was worthy of it. They have shared with me the knowledge of past, future, and present. They instill in me the work ethics of what it means to be a father, a brother, a son. I used to think it was the hardest thing, the harshest things. I used to think they didn't know what they was talking about. My grandfather used to say the youth is wasted on the young. I used to take that as an insult. Foolishness. Now that I'm wiser and now that I understand somewhat of life. Because if I knew what I knew now and as young and vibrant as I could have been, how powerful would I be? How focused and driven, ambitious could I have been? But when you're young, you're not mindful of these things. You're full of euphemism. You're not thinking about tomorrow or far enough into tomorrow. You're still stuck in the past because the emotion is there, and you're still stuck in the present because you're thinking about the future. All how the youth is wasted on the young. I can remember lessons like it's yesterday and today from my elders of the past, before and after their transition. I remember it like it's yesterday, as I said. Bad habits spoil useful habits. These little parables that we don't teach or explain anymore. The things about patience, hard head make a soft bottom. I mean, so much thing. The one thing that stick out of everything else that they ever taught me, each one has said it the same exact way. New broom sweeps the room clean, but the old broom knows the corner. Oh, how that used to get me. I used to look at that parable, hear that parable, and I used to get so frustrated and like, what kind of foolishness people keep telling me these things? And what they were speaking on was wisdom, overstanding, patience, and recognizing my place and lane, and everything has a use, new or old. So we must acknowledge our grands. We must acknowledge our elders. We must acknowledge our parents, good or bad. Despite the teachings, despite the traumas, despite the upbringing, they have taught you something. I have forgiven many transitions that my parents have done to me or done towards me. Nothing personal. I'm more mindful and aware of things more than I ever been. I think because now or in life, I have understand the transition, the teachings, the traditions, culture, all play a part. My grands and elders used to say, anytime they see me, sorry. They used to say sorry. And I used to brush it off like, no, you're all right. Everything is all right. Everything is all right. But I didn't understand why they used to say, I'm sorry. For many reasons, it could be because I didn't have enough time to give you all that I can give you. Life happens. Or I'm sorry that, in this case, that he wasn't ready for this type of impact or this type of scenario that took place. Again, life happens. But the one thing I can say, it was never by accident. It was always purpose. It was always a lesson to be learned, even in the midst of my pain. And they was always there to help me heal. And when I lost them, I went deeper into my pain. I guard my pain, as I spoke on before in past episodes. We men guard our pain. They helped me to understand how to heal, how to pray, how to invoke the spirit and the ancestors. So forgiveness and guidance, again, healing. I am in that position right now in the process of healing and moving forward. That whether she stays or go, I will honor her lessons and honor her teachings. I will represent the bloodline to the fullest, and I will pass down the knowledge because it's not meant for me to keep. It was meant for me to transition, to pass down Fatha Torch, to pass that torch to my kings and my queens. It was best for me to overstand my position as a man, as head of house, as king, to rise my children above my throne and pass those teachings. And not simply just tradition and culture, but traditions, lessons, life, simplicities, fulfillment, and gratitude. And to do this, and all in the time span that I'm in this dimension, in this world, my mission is to fulfill the life before me. Remember, we are spirits living the human experience. And despite the iniquities around us, we are loved. Our grandparents showed us how to love ourselves. We have so much youth, so much adults who don't know how to love themselves because they don't have those guidance anymore. Those guidance are gone. We have imitations. We have limited elders around anymore. And the ones that are around are being abused, disrespected, discarded, or forgotten. We must remember. We must embrace. We must show the truth and the love and utter truth, and love and understanding. So to all the grands out there, to all the elders out there, love and cherish you, and love and respect you. Right or wrong, you are always an elder who speaks or should speak wisdom and truth and love into the youth of tomorrow. We must overstand ourselves, look to our elders, despite our emotional, our physical, and mental exhaustion. Learn to forgive you and forgive them. Love them without conditions. Love them with your all. And those who understand love know what I mean. Love them because you will pray and hope and have faith that you will reach there healthy and strong one day. That you too can pass down all that you have learned and what you have taken in.
Hey, if you're enjoying this episode, check out the Healthy Illness Podcast with me, Kelly Marie, as we build healthy relationships while living with mental health conditions. I'm diagnosed and live with borderline personality disorder, major depression, and generalized anxiety. And despite those diagnoses, I've been able to live a full life. I have healthy relationships, a great career, and my mission is to help you do the same. So join me for Healthy Illness Podcast. New episodes every Monday on the Jazzcast Pros Network, found on the podcast player you're listening to right now. Be the light.
Speaking about take it in, it's amazing that me and my grandmother used to love to eat pizza together. And ironically, I love pizza. And for those of you who love pizza as I love pizza, try Creative Pizza.
If you've been thinking about starting a podcast and you want to include interviews with people across town, Riverside.fm offers unbelievable high-quality recordings regardless of your or your guest internet quality. And it also gives you separate audio and video tracks for each person speaking. And unlike Zoom, you don't have to install anything on your computer, and your guests don't either. Head over to Riverside.fm and use promo code JazzyCast to get 60 free minutes of recording and 15% off a membership plan.
Where you can get your freshest casual style pizza. Thing is, they made homemade sauce. They got vegan meatballs. They have what I love the most, sexy cheese. But for real, mention Fatha Torch. Go try a slice. Or I should say, personal pie. 766 Monroe Avenue. You can't miss it, across from Speedway. But yes, we used to love pizza. We used to eat it, every other Saturday or Friday, really. We did this like a tradition. It was our little thing, We get a slice, we sit down, we laugh. Sometimes we talk about the things that I had to learn, right? Through discipline or through discussion. Whether it be about spiritual, physical, or mental. Because pizza was our comfort food. And as I said before, it's something I do in my youth, especially my boy. We go right down into Creative Pizza and we make it work. We make it work. We go down there and we create our own, fresh toppings and vegetables, unlimited, of course. Personal pies, right? And we speak on life. I remind him of what I learned. And he tells me what he has learned. But grandmothers are important. Grandfathers are important. Our elders are important. And we as fathers must show the importance and essential roles our elders play in our lives. They can relate in so many levels. They can adapt in so many situations. It is imperative, just as important, I should say, that we express this, that we live this, and that we encourage our youth to respect and love our elders, our grands, our grand-grands, our nanas, our grandparents. I don't know what else to say, how to say it, but to acknowledge your elders. Love your elders. That is all I can say. Peace and blessings. Guidance in Imperial Majesty. Jah Rastafari.
Jazzcast Pros.
Are you an entrepreneur at heart with the mind of a hustler? Then you found the perfect podcast to help you turn your side hustle into a profitable small business so that you can support yourself and your community. Welcome to the Heart of the Hustle podcast. I am your host, Coach Mo, an award-winning serial entrepreneur with an unconventional business background. You can call me Motivation. I am a predicate felon who struggled to survive in the workforce, and I wanted a better quality of life for me and my family. And that's when I realized that entrepreneurship was my best course of action for reform. I am the owner of the Groom Room Men's Spa and Lounge, Rochester, New York's premier day spa for men's self-care and wellness. Over the pandemic, I began coaching struggling entrepreneurs inside my private Facebook group called Business Behaviors. With this podcast, my mission is to teach you all of the things I wish I knew while starting a business so that you can avoid the pitfalls of entrepreneurship and turn your passion into profits legally. Join me and expert guests as we cover topics such as business formation and legal entities. Should your company be a nonprofit or for-profit? Mental wellness for CEOs, how to build community, business credit and budgets, and how to get a return on your investment. Are you ready to elevate from a hustler's mindset to that of a CEO? Subscribe now so that you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop. The Heart of the Hustle podcast on the Jazzcast Pros Network. Over and out.